Element 25, using academic games. The desired effect is that students maintain engagement in academic games and inconsequential competition, and can explain how the games help them learn or remember content.
This week's featured element is Element 25, Academic Games. Academic games is a category of strategies found in Design Question 5, Student Engagement. Some elements in Design Question 5 can be planned for or enacted on the spot. Using academic games is an example of an element which can be planned for in advance. The desired effect of Element 25 is that students maintain engagement in academic games and inconsequential competition, and can explain how games help them learn or remember content. Student engagement is the core of effective schooling. If students are not engaged, there is little, if any, chance that they will learn what is being addressed in class. The use of academic games is a proven method to engage students within the content. Academic games can stimulate students' attention because they require students to access and supply missing information, one of the key building blocks of engagement. The use of game-based learning tasks and activities serve to deepen student understanding of core curriculum content. Additionally, they can expand students' motivation and energy levels. With the excitement created with the use of academic games, it can become easy to lose sight of the strategy's intent. It's important to maintain focus of the games for cognitive engagement, rather than just monitoring for compliant behavior. This graphic represents the variety of constructs that encompass the driving forces that influence student engagement. Emotions greatly impact a student's willingness and demeanor when engaging with content. 3 influences of student emotional engagement are: 1. Student energy levels, 2. A teacher's positive demeanor, and 3. Students' perceptions of acceptance. A second question that influences engagement is, am I interested? Even if an individual is engaged emotionally, he or she may fail to engage in a new activity simply because he or she doesn't perceive it as interesting. Is this important? Is another question that affects engagement. When students perceive classroom activities as important, they'll be more motivated to actively participate. The final question, can I do this, speaks to the construct of self-efficacy. The more students feel success in a task or activity, the more they are willing to take risks and participate. There are a number of classroom activities that have the potential to capture and hold students' attention to help them learn or remember content. The following examples can help trigger that interest. Questions can be generated from content for teams to play tic-tac-toe, respond using whiteboards, or talk a mile a minute with a partner. Vocabulary can also be reviewed and/or learned by playing bingo. A number of games using technology can also be used to generate student interest. For example, teacher-generated questions can be presented using Socrative, Kahoot, or even CPS responders, also known as clickers. Popular game shows like Jeopardy, Family Feud, The $100,000 Pyramid, and Pictionary can also be adapted to learn or review academic content. The following are considerations for using academic games. Explain the purpose of a game to students and connect it to the learning goal. Allow students to introduce new academic games. Emphasize learning instead of winning during inconsequential competition. Ensure that all students have the opportunity to participate in games. And establish expectations that discourage inappropriate comments or overly competitive behavior. Here we will make connections back to the desired effect and framework. The desired effect of using academic games mentions inconsequential games. Games stimulate student interest. When a competition is added to academic games, it activates mild pressure, which can provide another stimulus for student attention. In general, students like to compete, as long as the stakes are not too high. It's important to remember that competition is just for fun. It's inconsequential. Students can win classroom coupons, tangible rewards, or points for bragging rights. However, winning or losing a game should have no effect on student grades or test scores. Remember, games should be used as a lighthearted way to review and analyze information. Academic games can be tied to element 14, reviewing content. Academic games can be planned to have students recall, recognize, or apply previously learned content. This can be used for the purpose of study guides, assessment preparation, or as a platform for students to deepen their understanding of the content. Games can be used as a form of feedback for teachers as well. If a large number of students do poorly on an academic game, it might be an indication that additional review or reteaching of the content is necessary. Games are fun and engaging. When a game has ended, consider taking a moment to reconnect to the learning goal. To stimulate analysis of important terms and content, debrief by asking students which questions were difficult to answer and why. Ask students to look over what they have previously written about the content in their notes or academic notebooks and make any necessary changes. This might involve correcting misconceptions or adding new information that the students were unaware of. There are many resources available in books and on the internet for academic games. On the Office of Professional Development's Marzano Resource Canvas page, there are downloadable print resources, game templates, and websites that can be used for planning instruction using academic games.